everyone, this is Nicoya with SoulFire Garden, bringing you another exciting episode of what's going on in our patio garden. Now what we did recently go on vacation, so what we bought was some worry-free watering with HydroSpikes. Now these HydroSpikes comes 3 in a pack, so we had to buy a couple of these, well a few of these, at $9.99 a piece. They actually look like this. And what you do is you fill the container up with water and you run the cord into a water supply. And it will, once the plants have sucked the water out of this container, the tube that is attached, well that is inside of another water container, they will pull water from that. So here's an example of what we did. We actually bought a large gallon water container as well, and we ran both of our strawberry plants into this gallon container. Now the plan was actually to run all of our hydro cords into this container, but the negative on the hydro cord was, the HydroSpike was that the cord was too short. So we ended up just doing the 2 strawberry plants into this large gallon water container. Now when we came back from vacation, we came back to 1 dead strawberry plant and 1 strawberry plant that is looking pretty good. So both plants had the HydroSpike in there and both cords was in this container. Don't understand why 1 strawberry plant died and the other one didn't. We actually had these HydroSpikes in there for about 6 days. And here, as you see, the leaves are pretty much healthy. They do have a few burnt spots on them, but other than that, they actually look pretty good. Now down here we have our tomato plant, and it also has a hydro cord in it. We actually had this up pretty high, so I just brought it down to show everyone. But this actually had its own watering container that we were running the cord into. And as you see, it still was growing. It's growing pretty tall. We do have a few yellow leaves, and that's probably because of maybe the weather change. In fact, I believe it did get up to like 100+ degrees here in California while we were gone. Over here is our garlic. As you see, our garlic did not do as well, and we actually gave it 2 HydroSpikes and it still did not make it. So I guess the HydroSpikes did not work for the garlic or one of our strawberry plants. Now up here we actually have another tomato plant. This is the fox cherry tomato, and it actually has a tomato plant growing in the middle. So when we planted this was 4/24/2013. So to come back to this, we were so happy to see this. We were so concerned about our HydroSpike, thinking that all our plants would be dead. But some of them did make it, and we're still happy about the result of using the HydroSpike. And this is the container that we use. And we also have another plant right here. This is the early green broccoli, also planted on the 24th. And this is what we have. A beautiful leaf. The plant is growing very well, and this is also using the HydroSpike, so it worked well with this plant as well. This is our dahlia plant. We came back to a few dead leaves and also a few of the flowers that turned a little brown, but as you see, a few flowers has also opened up, and we have some new buds on there as well. Now the brown leaves could, I guess, be a result of maybe the temperature getting a little too hot for this plant. But we do have the HydroSpike in there, and it still seems to be working pretty good. The plant is still alive, so that's a good sign. Here is our olive plant. Now our olive tree actually doesn't have any olives on it, but it is also still alive, and we use the HydroSpike in this one as well, running the HydroSpike cord from there into this container. And as you see, we have 3 cords in there because we ran 3 plants into this 1 container, and it actually, with us being gone for a little bit over 6 days, it actually had, we filled the water all the way up to the top, and it still has a little bit of water in the bottom, so that's a good thing. Moving on over to our next plant. Right here we have the cucumber, and we came back to a beautiful cucumber plant that is growing very well, also using a HydroSpike, and this is actually running into the other container over here. We have the chard. Now we originally planted some chard on 4/10/2013. Now we planted chard on this side and then on the other side, and we had some plants that came up, but they ended up dying, so we planted one in the middle before we left, and this was planted on May 12th, 2013. And as you see in the middle, this is what we came back to, our plant growing in the middle. So HydroSpike worked very well for this plant as well, and this was actually grown from seed. And for it to grow from seed, this is what we got using the HydroSpike. So we put the HydroSpike in, well, we put the seed in first, and we put the HydroSpike in, and we watered it on the top before we left, and this is it. I'm so happy that even from seed, the HydroSpike worked. So there you have it, our update on our garden. It's looking pretty good. We did lose a couple plants, but that's how it goes sometimes in gardening. So what we'll do is just start those plants over. I don't know if we're going to do another strawberry. We may end up doing something different, but all in all, we're happy with the results that we have so far, and we're going to keep growing. Alright, bye-bye.